Hello, my name is Dr. Maja Mihailovic. I'm a PhD coach. In this video, I will talk about how to apply for an advertised PhD project in STEM. I will consider here a case where you are emailing your application to a professor. Let's say you're looking for a PhD position in STEM and you found an advert for a PhD project in Professor Mark Johnson's lab. You have read the ad carefully and understood all instructions. It is very important to follow all the instructions because if you don't, then you can be disqualified based on that. Now you have checked Professor Johnson's website and read more about his research project. Also, you have read, or at least skimmed, the references mentioned in the ad. Now you're about to email Professor Johnson to send him your application. You have all required documents ready and prepared as required in the ad. For example, they may say in the ad that you have to send all documents as a single PDF file. So send them as a single PDF file. If they say to send them separately, then send them separately. Let me tell you a few words about how to write your CV. It is very important that you customize your CV for the position that you are applying for. You should emphasize skills and experience that are relevant to the project. In your CV, you should include any publications if you have, but at this stage, it's not really required from you to have publications yet. If you don't have any publications yet, that's okay, don't worry about that. Okay, let's talk about recommendation letters. Again, you should follow the instructions in the ad. If they say that recommendation letters should be sent directly to the professor, then ask your references to send their recommendation letter directly to the professor. Or maybe in the ad they will say to provide names and contact information of 2-3 references. If it's so, then you should provide names and contact information of your references. Regarding the transcripts, you should follow the instructions in the ad. It might be that you have to translate transcripts, or they may require certified transcripts and so on. So be sure that you do as they say in the ad. Let's talk about your cover letter now. It is one of the most important documents in your application. Its role is to sell you to the professor. Your cover letter should be short, not longer than 250 to 400 words, which equals to half a page to 1 page. It also should be very focused. Start your cover letter with a salutation such as "Dear Professor Johnson" or "Dear Dr. Johnson." It's important that you write the last name of the professor so that your cover letter will not look generic. It's not a good idea to send the same cover letter to all professors and to start it with just "Dear Professor." No, that's not good. In the first paragraph of your cover letter, you should introduce yourself. Write your name and mention the name of the project you are applying for and where you saw the ad. It can be something like, I'm writing to apply for that and that PhD project in your lab as advertised on that website. Here you should mention if someone have recommended you the professor's group. So let's say one of a professor from university recommended you this group to apply for, so you can write it here. In this paragraph, you should also write about your degree and qualifications. In the next paragraph of your cover letter, you should show the evidence that you found out more about the project and that you read the references that are mentioned in the ad. Also, you should show that you really want to work in his lab, not just in any lab. Here's one tip if you cannot get hold of their paper, then if you don't have access to the full paper, you can always email the professor or someone from his group and ask for the reference. Usually they are happy to provide it. In this paragraph, you should write why you are interested in the project. You can also write what you found interested in the references that you read. You should relate your experience and research interests to the project. You can also write why you want to work in his lab. In the next paragraph, you should write about your research skills. Here you should mention skills, techniques, and experiences that are related to the professor's research. If you don't have many skills and experiences, you can also write what you would like to learn in his lab. What are the skills and techniques that you want to acquire in his lab? You should also write what motivates you to do your PhD in his lab. In the last paragraph of your cover letter, you should express your enthusiasm and interest in working on that PhD project. Here you should also mention what documents you are sending along your cover letter, such as CV, transcripts, recommendation letters, and so on. You can finish with sincerely or best regards or something like that, and then write your name. Now that you have your cover letter written, you should save it as a PDF file or in some other format requested in the ad. Also, save your CV as a PDF file or as the other format requested in the ad. In some ads, they will request to send all documents as one single PDF file, so do that. If they requested to send them separately, then send them separately. It's time now to email your application to the professor. The subject line should be clear and to the point. Something like application for a PhD project. Start your email with a salutation, such as Dear Professor Johnson or Dear Dr. Johnson. Again, it's important to include the last name of the professor in your salutation. Your email should be very short. One paragraph, just a few sentences. You should mention why you are emailing the professor. It should be something like, I'm emailing you to apply for that and that PhD project in your lab as advertised on some website. In your email, you should mention what documents you are sending as attachment. Then attach your file or files if they are asking for separate files, and finish your email with sincerely or best regards and write down your name. Before sending your email, read it once again and correct mistakes. Double check if you have attached your file, and at the very end, enter the professor's email. I like to do this as the last step to prevent accidental email sending. Now you are ready to send your email to the professor. And here comes the most difficult part of your application, that is waiting for the reply. If you don't get reply from the professor within say a week or two, you can send him a follow-up email and to remind him about your previous email and ask about any news. If you have sent your follow-up email and you still don't get reply, then it's time to move on. You can't do anything else. But the one thing that you can do is not to take this rejection personally. It happens often in academia, and we usually have to face a lot of rejections before we get acceptance. So be patient and don't give up. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.